Talk show hosts like Whoopi Goldberg and Kelly Ripa can attract viewers. However, without the producers and crew, the daily shows would cease to exist. Kelly Ripa moved a live producer to tears a week after Whoopi Goldberg reprimanded a crew member on The View. Read on to learn what transpired. Ripa Kelly and Consuelos Mark comment on Jimmy Kimmel's reprimand earlier this month. Jimmy Kimmel's late-night talk show was canceled because of remarks he made on the passing of podcaster Charlie Kirk. Less than a week later, the suspension was removed. However, the entertainment sector was rocked by the unexpected punishment. In order to avoid being canceled, other talk show hosts either remained silent or came out in favor of Jimmy Kimmel. Rarely, anchors Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos of Live, with Kelly and Mark offered their opinions on the matter. Live isn't a show about politics. Celebrity interviews and other entertainment-related subjects are the main emphasis of the ABC talk show. However, following Jimmy Kimmel's ordeal, even Mark and Kelly were unable to remain silent. After the Jimmy Kimmel program resumed airing, Mark Consuelos stated, "As a nation, we can all agree that the First Amendment is very important." He reminded the audience that politics is not allowed on the show, but it had to be broken for a significant matter. On-air producer Kelly Ripa breaks down in tears as hosts of Live, with Kelly and Mark. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are vying for another daytime Emmy. Last year, they took home the prize. On Friday, October 17, the 2025 Daytime Emmys will air live in Los Angeles, California. Regretfully, this year they will not be broadcast on television. The show is portrayed by the former soap opera stars. However, one producer is always present on stage, just outside the lens. Live has been produced by Michael Gelman since its inception. He actually co-hosted the chat program that preceded Live with Regis and Kathy Lee with Regis Philbin. After a lifetime of work, the veteran producer was finally recognized. Earlier this week, Michael Gilman received the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame Award in New York City, New York, with Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos present to pay their respects. Kelly Ripa filled the crowd in on the unforgettable evening. She admitted that she became rather emotional. Michael Gilman became emotional as well when she discussed the honors. As the Live hosts showered him with praise, he found it difficult to contain his tears. Mark Consuelos calls the producer the show's backbone. Mark Consuelos had been a guest host on Live for years prior to his official co-hosting debut in 2023. He understands Michael Gilman's importance to the show just as well as his wife does. Talk shows are sporadic. The fact that you have managed to continue this show? Usually, when something appears simple, it's actually quite difficult. He remarked, "I have to tell you, Michael Gelman, you've mastered the art of keeping the show relevant, fun, and happy with as an ordinary morning at the Live with Kelly and Mark studio. Coffee cups clinking, teleprompters scrolling, the hum of studio lights filling the air with anticipation. But by the end of the hour, there wasn't a dry eye in the room, especially not from one of the show's most beloved producers, who found themselves in tears. Live on national television." Kelly Ripa, known for her quick wit and mischievous charm, wasn't expecting to bring anyone to tears that morning. Yet, as often happens on Live, the unexpected found its way onto the air. And what unfolded was one of the show's most emotional, genuine, and talked about moments of the season. A segment that went off script. The episode began like any other. Kelly and Mark Consuelos strolled onto the set hand in hand, greeted by the applause of their loyal audience. The topic of the morning was supposed to be unexpected kindness, a feel-good segment designed to celebrate everyday heroes and good deeds. But Kelly, ever the improviser, had something up her sleeve. As the cameras rolled, she turned to Mark with that familiar gleam in her eye. "You know," she began, "we've been talking about all these incredible acts of kindness from people across the country, but we have someone right here in our studio who deserves a little recognition of their own." Mark looked intrigued. "Oh, Who are we talking about? Kelly smiled, pausing for effect. Our very own senior producer, Jenna. The camera quickly cut to the producer's booth, where Jenna, clearly flustered, waved from behind her headset. She had no idea what was coming next. Kelly's heartfelt surprise. Kelly motioned for Jenna to come out on stage, much to Jenna's protest. Come on, Jenna, don't hide behind that glass. Kelly teased. You're always making us look good. It's your turn. Reluctantly, Jenna stepped onto the stage, clearly uncomfortable in the spotlight. The audience cheered, and Mark handed her a tissue preemptively, joking, You're gonna need this. Kelly turned to the cameras, then back to Jenna. You've worked with me for, 12 years now, she said. Jenna nodded, already misty-eyed. In those 12 years, Kelly continued, her voice softening, you've been the one constant behind the scenes. You've held the show together when everything went off the rails. You've talked me down from panic attacks before we went live. You've been family. The audience went quiet. Even Mark seemed stunned at the sincerity in Kelly's tone. Last week, Kelly added, I overheard something in the control room. You were telling one of the crew that you didn't think anyone noticed how much work you put into the show. Well, guess what? We noticed. We've always noticed. At that, Kelly motioned to the big screen behind them, and a surprise video montage began to play. Memories, laughter, and tears. The montage was a roller coaster of emotions. Jenna wrangling last-minute guests, whispering cues into Kelly's earpiece, and even dancing backstage to keep the energy up. There were clips of bloopers, chaotic rehearsals, and even one moment where she accidentally tripped over a lighting cable, to which Kelly had shouted, That's commitment. Then came the heartfelt messages. One by one, current and former live cast and crew appeared on screen to thank Jenna for her hard work. Ryan Seacrest popped up, saying, Jenna, you were the heartbeat of this place when I was here. He kept us laughing through the craziest mornings. Kelly's voice cracked as she spoke over the montage. You make this show what it is. You're the reason it runs so smoothly, even when Mark and I forget the script. Which is basically every day. The camera cut back to Jenna, who was now visibly crying, trying to hide her face as the audience gave her a standing ovation. An unexpected gift. Just when the emotions couldn't run any higher, Kelly turned to Mark, who smiled and pulled out a small envelope. This, Kelly said, handing it to Jenna, is just a little something from all of us. Inside was a handwritten note and 2 plane tickets to Italy. Mark and I heard you've never taken a real vacation, Kelly said. So, you're going. You and whoever you want. The show will survive without you for a week, maybe. That line made everyone laugh, breaking the emotional tension, but it only made Jenna cry harder. She covered her face with both hands, overwhelmed. Kelly, with her signature mix of humor and empathy, gave her a hug. I'm sorry for making you cry on daytime television, she said into the mic, but it was kind of worth it. Mark added, she makes me cry every day, so welcome to the club. The moment that broke the internet. The segment, which was supposed to be a 5-minute feel-good piece, ended up lasting nearly 20 minutes, and by the time it wrapped, social media had exploded. Clips of the emotional exchange flooded TikTok and Instagram, with fans commenting things like, This is why Kelly Ripa is the real deal. I'm sobbing at work over a producer I've never met. This show has more heart than any talk show on TV. Within hours, Kelly Ripa was trending, not for a viral joke or fashion moment, but for something far more powerful, genuine gratitude. The next day, Elide even released a behind-the-scenes video showing how Kelly had secretly planned the whole thing with the rest of the production team. Apparently, Jenna had been working 12-hour days leading up to the show's fall season launch, coordinating new segments and managing chaos behind the curtain. Kelly wanted to make sure her hard work didn't go unnoticed. Kelly's reflection. In an interview later that week, Kelly was asked about the on-air moment. She smiled softly and said, We're a family here. People see me and Mark. but they don't see the army behind the curtain. Jenna's been my lifeline for over a decade. She's the calm in every storm. I just wanted her to feel seen." She paused, then added with a laugh, "Though I didn't exactly mean to make her cry that hard. I should have had waterproof mascara ready." Fans loved that sentiment, praising Kelly for her mix of humility and humor. The show received an outpouring of letters and emails from viewers sharing their own stories of unsung workplace heroes, a testament to how one spontaneous act of kindness can ripple far beyond the studio walls. A lasting impression. When Jenna returned to work after her surprise Italy trip weeks later, she reportedly brought Kelly and Mark matching keychains from Rome, one shaped like a heart, the other like a tiny espresso cup. "Because," she told them on air, "you both keep my heart full and my energy fueled." The moment earned another round of applause, but this time there were only smiles, no tears. Kelly raised her coffee mug and said, "Okay, now let's officially make it a rule, no crying before 10 a.m. And just like that, the show rolled on. Laughter restored, hearts a little fuller, and everyone reminded that even in the chaos of live television, kindness and gratitude never go unnoticed. Because on Live with Kelly and Mark, even an ordinary morning can turn into something unforgettable.